I have the Huetopian palette from Miss Pat McGrath. I know I'm late to the game because, to be honest with you guys, I don't have that much time to film between being a mom, working full-time, and yeah, I have had this in my, like, in the box that it came in for like more than a week or two. So everybody and their mother has already posted their video and I am late to the game, but if you want my opinion, stick around. So as always, Miss Pat McGrath does these gorgeous boxes. I wish that the palette looked like this. I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of times I love when packaging is just like beautiful and gorgeous and has like all the done up. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know she's more of a luxury brand, but God, this is just so beautiful. And it's such a pain in the butt to like unwind this and open it each time, so I always keep these boxes separately. Also, another thing is that all the names are on here on this little carton, and so on the palette itself you don't have any kind of names. And like I said, this is the 9 Huetopian Dream, and I'm sure everybody and their mother has already seen it, but those are the shades. And I did do this look with this palette, so I will have that later on. I'll try to do timestamps down below, but I thought we would swatchity swatch, kind of go through the shades, and I also got the little pen so I can give you guys my thoughts on the pen as well. And as far as the other palettes that I own from Pat McGrath, I will show you guys the ones that I own. And first up is this one. This is the Celestial Divinity. I didn't find any shades that were similar or identical. I also have this one. This is the Mothership Bronze Ambition. This is the Mothership Sublime Bronze Temptation. And then I have the Mothership, what is this called? Ooh, the Mothership Rose Decadence. And none of those shades like come anywhere close to the ones in the new palette. As far as the Mothership Big Mom palettes, I have Mothership 5, and Mothership 5, I have to say, is very more on the warmer tones as far as the browns in here. And you can definitely see next to the new Huetopian that the browns are very different. This one leans more on the rosy side, that lighter brown, and this one is more on the warm side. Is it something that I would say would significantly be shown on the lid? Probably not. But, you know, it isn't identical. And then as far as the Rose, Divine Rose 2, that is the other palette that I own that I was like, oh my God, are they, you know, what other shades can be very similar? So I do feel like these are complementary of each other and you can use them. And if you check out the lightest shade in both of these palettes, this one is from the new Huetopian and this one is from the Divine Rose 2. If you like kind of just watch them with your finger, you know, they kind of look very similar, but then when you swatch them out, they do give different vibes. So the one that is down below is more of a kind of like a very pearl shade, and that one is from the Huetopian. And then this one's from the Divine Rose 2, and as you can see there, it kind of has like a shift to it where it's almost like pinky, like a pinky shift to it. So they are very different, and I do feel like you would see the difference if you apply them like in their corner. You could definitely see that that one has a pink shift to it. Other than that, the only other shade that I would say I was very curious is the trichrome in each of these palettes. So here is the one from Divine Rose 2. As you can see there, it has like a fuchsia and the chartreuse. And that's what kind of threw me off about this one, is because in her description, she also had that chartreuse green as a shift. And so I was like, oh my God, are they gonna be the same? But hopefully you guys will see this. This one, which is from the Huetopian, leans more like reddish copper, and the one from the Divine Rose 2 leans more on the fuchsia green. So let me go ahead and swatch these on my hands so you guys can actually see that, and hopefully the camera will pick up all the shifts on there, but they are different, and I'm so glad that I picked it up. I was kind of like scared of how they were gonna come out, but I am in love with this. This one looks like, as you can see there, it has the green, kind of like a reddish and a coppery shade, and this one is more green with the fuchsia especially. So hopefully the camera will pick all those tones up so you guys can really see the difference between both of them. But if you were iffy because of that, I just wanted to let you know that they are significantly different, where I feel like you can see and definitely tell on your eyelid. So yeah, so do you need the Huetopian? That would depend on you, because I know her palettes are pricey, they're expensive, but I love Mother Pats. Anyways, I'm gonna jump into the demo so you guys can actually see this halo eye that I did and see the pen in action, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. The try on portion, we are going to jump into this gorgeous palette. I wish that the names were on the inside. I feel like none of her palettes are like that, so you always have to keep the cardboard or the clear plastic to actually know the names, and that's slightly annoying. Also, the pen doesn't have any kind of instructions or anything, so we're just gonna play around and see how this works. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump in and do a look with this, see what comes out of it. I feel like everyone and their mother has played around with these last two shades just because that is what really draws people to this palette. So I think I'm gonna use the coral, and then I don't know, just play around and see how many shades I can use. First color that I am going to pop into, I think, is gonna be Secret Eden. You know what, I might just do a halo eye. Yeah, so we're just gonna put Secret Eden here on the outer part, and then Secret Eden here on the inner corner. Next up, I'm going to use the shade, what is the shade? Extra Plum Noir. And we're going to use that further down on both sides. And we just really want to keep that area in the middle clear, so that way we have our halo. And on the bottom lash line, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. And then I can go back in with that first shade and just retouch up on the top part and really buff it out. Okay, the one thing that I wanna do is apply this pen and see what this is like. So let's see if we can get it up.
20 years later.
So it's actually like a triangle, like a little wax pen or something, and it feels, I don't know, it feels kind of like wet to the touch. So I'm just gonna apply this all over the halo where I want that middle shade to go, and see how this performs. I've never tried this, so I don't know what it's gonna be like, or if I'm applying too much, but thankfully this isn't getting too dirty. And then I think I'm going to use the shade Astral Venusian Orchid in that area, and I'm just gonna use my finger and apply that to the center. Whoa. Oh wow, I already freaking love that primer thing. Wow, that is crazy. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, and then I'm going to touch up the edges with my, just like buff around. Ooh, I think I went a little overboard. And then just taking a brush with hardly anything on it, I'm going to lighten up this right here just so it doesn't have as much shimmer. I probably shouldn't have applied as much glue up there. And I am getting quite a bit of fallout just because I am brushing and trying to diffuse this. And I'm going to do the same effect under here. I'm going to do the lightest shade, then the darkest shade, and then just pop the glitter here in the middle as well. I'm just going to do that off camera just to save time in this video, and then give you guys my final thoughts with the final look. Overall, I have to say I love this palette. I do not regret it. There's certain things from Pat McGrath that I'm like, I can skip on that. They're not shades that I use or stuff like that. But if you like the shade tones in here, I do highly recommend her eyeshadows. I absolutely love them. Her special shades are absolutely just gorgeous. The ones that are just like this middle tone here that are just glittery goodness. Just, I love her shadows. I wish she would come out with like more of these special shades just because she is so good at them. And yeah, I totally don't regret this purchase. I love this palette and it's just stunning. I will try to do other looks with it. Let me know if you guys want Get Ready With Me with some of my Pat McGraths. I would definitely do that, or a full face of Pat McGrath. I could definitely do that as well because I do own like a few of her things, like her foundation, concealer, powder, and a few other things. Also, for the IntensifEyes Artistry Wand, do you need this? Not necessarily. I feel like this is really cool. It's something very different, but at the same time, I don't feel like it did anything that I wouldn't get from like my NYX, what is this called? My NYX glitter primer, or the Ben Nye glitter glue. I feel like both of these do this. Now, that being said, I do feel like this is easier to apply just because it is in a wand form. And I do suggest after you use it to like pass your finger through it to get the guck off of it. The first time I used it, it didn't get as dirty, but then the second eye that I did, it did get pretty dirty. So what I did was just swipe my finger through it and clean it off before putting the cap on. So I do like the fact that it's in a wand form. It's pretty thin. It's a very nice thin formula, and that's what I love about it. It is on the pricey side though. The glitter primer by NYX, this is more on the thicker side. If you use this, you're gonna see that it is, it is really thick, so you're not going to feel as thin of a formula as, for example, the new Pat McGrath. And then the Ben Nye glitter glue. This one is easy to use as well because it does have the little brush applicator, but this one is more runny and watery. So that just depends on personal preference. Overall, of all the glitter adhesives that I've used, I feel like this is the easiest. It's not watery, it's not too thick, it goes on perfectly. I just have to see with the long run how long this lasts to see if it really is worth the price point. But I am impressed. I just wanted to kind of compare it to these just so you kind of you could kind of, if you have that kind of glitter glue or other kinds, you could kind of see where I'm coming from as far as why I really enjoy the Pat McGrath one. So we'll see once I use it up if I feel like I really got my uses out of it compared to the price point. I did buy this in a set, so they have the Huetopian with the pen and it's cheaper that way. Plus I know that she does like certain coupon codes, so that's the way I bought it, and I highly suggest you do too to save you some money. Overall, let me know what you thought of this palette, of the pen. I can't say enough about it if you couldn't already tell by my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing. If you ain't subscribed, you can hit that little red button if you want to see more beauty videos from me. Definitely follow me on my social media down below, and you can like this video if you want to help me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.